It's 2 a.m. You've put your baby down for the fourth time tonight. You tiptoe out, you hold your breath. And then the cry. That same cry that makes your whole chest collapse. You've read every book. You've tried every method. And you're starting to wonder if something is wrong with your baby. Or worse, something is wrong with you. Stop. Because what's actually happening in your baby's brain right now will change everything you thought you knew. Here's the thought that every new parent has at 2 a.m. I must be doing something wrong. Maybe your mother-in-law told you that you're spoiling the baby. Maybe a friend said their baby was sleeping through the night at 6 weeks. Maybe you Googled it, which, let's be honest, only made things worse. And somewhere in all of that noise, you started believing a story, that a good baby sleeps alone, that a good parent makes that happen, that if your baby only sleeps on your chest, in your arms, next to your warmth, you failed some kind of test. Here's what no one tells you. That story, it was invented by people in the 1800s. It has nothing to do with your baby's biology. The guilt you're feeling right now is real, but the reason you're feeling it is completely wrong. So here's the first thing that's going to surprise you. The idea that babies should sleep alone, through the night, in their own crib, without you, that idea is less than 150 years old. Researchers at Durham University traced it back to the late 1800s. It was promoted by figures like psychologist John B. Watson, who believed that showing too much warmth to a child would weaken them. It reflected the values of one class in one culture at one moment in history. It was never based on how babies actually work. And here's the kicker. For the 200,000 years before that, every human baby on Earth slept in contact with their mother. Every single one. Not because parents were weak, not because they hadn't figured out sleep training yet, but because that is what the human infant body was built to need. Your baby isn't broken. Your baby is ancient. Now, let me tell you what is actually happening inside your baby's brain. And I promise I'll keep it simple. When a human baby is born, their brain is only a quarter of its eventual adult size. A quarter! They are born more neurologically immature than any other primate on Earth. Think about that. A baby giraffe stands within hours of birth. A baby chimp can cling to its mother. But a human newborn, they can do almost nothing on their own. And because human breast milk is lower in fat than almost any other mammal's milk, babies need to feed often, very often, especially at night. So what does a baby's brain do when it can't feed, can't move, can't protect itself? It sends one signal, one survival signal that has worked for hundreds of thousands of years. It calls for you. Not because something is wrong, because everything is right. Your baby's brain is working exactly as designed. Needing you at night isn't a sleep problem. It is the solution. But there's another layer here, and this one is about emotions. Psychologists call it attachment theory. In the first months of life, your baby has no concept that you still exist when they can't see you or feel you. When you leave the room, from your baby's perspective, you have simply disappeared from the universe. So when they wake up in the dark, alone, and reach out and nothing is there, their little nervous system doesn't think, oh, mom just stepped out. It thinks danger. Their stress hormone, cortisol, spikes. Their heart rate rises. They cry. Not to manipulate you, not because you trained them to, but because that cry kept human babies alive for thousands of generations. And here's what's beautiful about that. When you respond, when you come back, you're not reinforcing a habit. You are teaching your baby the most important lesson of their entire life, that the world is safe, that you will come back, that they can trust. That lesson, it follows them forever. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but won't this create problems later? Won't they never learn to sleep alone? Let's look at the actual research. A 2024 study following nearly 17,000 children found no lasting negative impact on a child's emotional or behavioral development from close sleeping when practiced safely. Not spoiling, not dependency, not damage. The children were fine. The children were actually, in many cases, more emotionally secure. And research consistently shows that babies who feel safe and responded to in these early months become more independent,
not less as they grow older. Security builds confidence. It doesn't steal it. What harms children isn't too much closeness in infancy. It's the anxiety that comes from being left to feel afraid, alone, and unheard. Let me tell you about a mom I'll call Sarah. Sarah's baby, Leo, was 4 months old, and Leo would only sleep on her chest. The moment she put him down, his eyes flew open. Every single time. Sarah was exhausted. She hadn't slept more than 2 hours in a row in weeks, and she was drowning in advice. Sleep train him. Don't sleep train him. You're holding him too much. You're not holding him enough. One night at 3 a.m., feeding Leo for the 5th time, she stopped fighting it. She stopped watching the clock. She stopped thinking about what she was doing wrong, and she just looked at him, really looked at him. And she thought, he's not broken. He's just mine. That shift, that tiny reframe, changed everything. Not his sleep schedule, not overnight, but her relationship to it. She stopped suffering through the nights and started surviving them. And slowly, gently, with no drama and no crying it out, Leo began to find his way. Because she stopped fighting his biology and started working with it. So what can you actually do tonight, right now? First, stop fighting the contact nap. Let your baby fall into a deep sleep on you first, then attempt the transfer. Second, build a 3-step pre-sleep ritual and do it in the same order every night. It can be as simple as dim the lights, warm bath, feed, or rock. Babies are pattern seekers. Repetition signals safety. And research shows that consistent routines reduce the time it takes babies to fall asleep and keep them asleep longer. Third, try a scent anchor. Sleep on a soft cloth for a night, then place it near your baby when they sleep. Your smell alone activates their calming response. And fourth, the most important one, reframe the goal. The goal tonight is not sleeping alone. The goal is safety, teaching their nervous system one night at a time that sleep is safe, that you are near, that they are loved. That's not spoiling. That is parenting. Your baby doesn't need to be fixed. They need to be understood. And the fact that you're watching this, searching for answers at whatever hour it is right now, that tells me everything about the kind of parent you already are. The hard nights are not proof that you're failing. They are proof that your baby knows exactly who to call for. Save this video, because on the next hard night, when the doubt creeps back in, you're going to want to remember this.
Thank you for watching. We learned so much together.